Hey, deserving listeners, 90 Day Fiancé, the single life. Let's watch.
In his relationship and with me leaving very soon, that like, what is really going on between you two? Because it seems to me that this friendship is a lot more than just friends. And, you know, I don't feel 100% comfortable with this, you know?
Well, I don't know why they'd be calling him. Why doesn't Jesse just ask Jeniffer? So they're calling Kakua because Jesse wants to know what the status of the relationship is, okay? Their relationship, but I think the premise of calling him was to find out what happened in the past, because if I remember right, Jeniffer and Kakua were together while Jesse thought Jeniffer was exclusive to him. And for some reason, for the two of them, and particularly, I guess, more relevant to Jesse, he is concerned with what base they went to on the baseball diamond. You know, how far they went sexually in his mind. And if it was, you know, below a certain threshold, then for Jesse, that's okay. If it's beyond a certain threshold, however we measure these things culturally, then that seems like a violation to the sanctity of their relationship, even though they had never met in person. But who knows? I mean, people can have exclusive relationship. And as I said before, for Jesse, the main thing was that Jeniffer lied about it and said that she didn't have, wasn't with him or didn't have sexual relations with that man.
That we share some intimate moments, and that means many things, but never was ADN exchange.
So you mean like oral sex?
I don't talk about that. Those things are personal. I don't want to go together.
Okay, so you don't want to go into specifics, but you wanted to go into all those other specifics. So I guess that's fine, but that's the whole premise of this conversation. You started this conversation with, okay, let's clarify exactly what happened with me and Kakua, the three of us. Let's talk about the specifics, or let's get more specific than we did in the past. Now, it's fine if Jeniffer wants to say, oh, pull the plug, we're done. I don't want to go there with this. It's fine, but let's see how this goes.
Don't mind him. He's my best friend, but he's horny all the time. Kaka is just always horny. I don't want my best friend to be horny all the time when I'm with her. If I am not romantically interested in someone, I don't sleep with that person. And I think he is still in love.
Which is the Evelyn and Raul scenario, I guess, relived. And if you're Jesse, it's fine that this other person is in love with your girlfriend. As long as your girlfriend is faithful and has integrity, then it doesn't really matter what the Rauls or the Kakuas feel about your partner. So I don't know why Kakua is even involved in this conversation. Jesse should be talking directly to Jeniffer. Now, I will say that Kakua's demeanor during this conversation, and really the previous one, is, I don't know how to put it, notable. I think the way that he smiles, his smirk. I mean, I don't know if it's just that he's nervous about being on camera or he's nervous about talking about sex or something, but there's a certain, I don't know, like smirkiness to the whole experience that he gives off.
And so where are you and Jeniffer right now? Where do you stand?
Jeniffer and I are in a really good place, but I don't want to be worrying when I leave, like what's going to happen with Kakua and what are the boundaries. I don't want to set the boundaries myself. I want Jeniffer to set those boundaries herself.
Right, good. So I don't know if I showed the clip, but Kakua said that he still has feelings for Jeniffer. He says he can't turn that off. Okay, his feelings are his feelings, I suppose. And Jesse did not get angry about that. He didn't yell at Kakua, he didn't yell at Jeniffer. He's just saying, well, okay, he's honest. He even said, I appreciate and respect his honesty about that. But now I just want to feel when I leave that I can depend on Jeniffer to fulfill her exclusive, I think that's what they have, is an exclusive commitment to each other.
Really?
See, so you feel sure about it. I don't need to see Kakwa.
Thank you.
Okay, so he asked, what's going to happen after I leave? Are you going to still stay friends with Kakua? What's going to happen there? And Jeniffer intuits the situation, I think, and says, well, he's always going to be my friend, but I'm not going to see him because I don't want anything to happen. So, so it seems like Jesse's happy about that. So on the scale of things on the show, anyway, I thought that they communicated pretty well. Jesse kept his differentiation level up. He didn't flip out. He didn't accuse. He didn't get angry. He, I think, at least implied how he felt about things, and Jeniffer picked it up and accommodated.
Gracias.
Come here.
What?
I have something for you.
Oh shit. Oh my god, babe.
So you can take them.
Mi amor. Oh.
Okay, so sex positivity, don't yuck other people's yum. And she wanted to give him her panties, and he wanted to sniff them on international television. And I think she's okay with that, and that's their thing. It's not an uncommon thing. It's a pretty common thing. Literally in Japan, you can walk by, I don't know if anymore, but in the past, vending machines where they sell used underwear. So it's normal. It's a normal human variation. And we're watching it. You could argue that they should have not shown it, that it's a private moment, but, it's between the two of them, and it's totally fine. The reason why I often will say that, because it's like, what do I have to say about such a thing, is that we can't be sex negative with some people and then defend sex positivity with other people. Just because you don't like someone, or you're indifferent towards someone, or you're used to making fun of someone, doesn't mean it's okay to use sex negativity, to use sexual repression, to use racism or body shaming or all sorts of things. And I see people doing that. I see people, and I'm sure I'm guilty of it too. I try not to be this way, but maybe in the past I was like this. But anyway, there will be politicians, for example, that we will body shame, or we'll see people body shame. And then they'll turn around, and when someone body shames their presidential candidate or themselves or a friend or someone that they like, then they react very appropriately strongly against the body shaming. But when it comes to a politician you hate, then it's okay. And and I've actually confronted people, and I say, that's, it's not okay. You're body shaming that. You can disagree with their politics. You can vote against them, you could advocate, but you can't body shame them just because you don't like them. It's not okay. And people will defend themselves and say, well, he is this, he's that, and so all bets are off. It's okay to body shame that person. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not logical. Body shaming in general is wrong. Racism in general is wrong. Just for example, I think all of us would understand that if you didn't like a politician for their politics, and you were racist against them, that we would all understand that's not okay. Well, it's the same with body shaming. It's the same with sex shaming. And so that's why I'm often saying, don't yuck other people's yum. It's totally fine. And because I worry sometimes that the reaction will be like, ew, Jesse's disgusting. And, you could argue that you don't want to watch this kind of content. You could argue that the show shouldn't have put this in the show, or you could just not like the show in general or something. But to Jesse and Jeniffer in particular, at least in this instance, I don't think it's okay. And I think it is a political thing, or a social justice thing, to refrain and to defend two people that they can have their own sexuality as long as it's not harming other people, it's consensual, that it's not, it can be something you don't want to watch, but don't yuck other people's yum.
Oh.
Keep them safe. That's my
Oh, baby.
And she seemed fine with him sniffing. I mean, they're really rubbing our nose in it, if you know what I'm saying.
Thank you. That is so hot. We've been
Just keep returning to the well. Just keep going. Just more of it. And again, for me, I'm just like, okay, fine, great, you know, and great, absolutely, and okay, that's enough. Just edit out. It's like watching Colt in a hot tub with that performer woman. There's a level of exposure to that life that I don't need to take in. It'd be like if I was at a resort and there were two people making out in the hot tub, I wouldn't just sit there and watch. There's a reason why. It's an intimate moment. People are allowed to have that intimacy, and this is an intimate moment. We don't have to be staring in at them.
spending 24/7 for the past 2 weeks. I don't want to be without you. And if I miss you, I just pull out your panties.
To be with you in the night.
See?
Think about me.
I'm guessing people are making jokes about, well, maybe Jesse would wear it as a mask on the airplane or something. Am I being sex shaming? I hope not.
These 2 weeks went by so fucking fast.
I love you so much, baby. Much.
It's interesting. I think I said this last time, that when this relationship began, it seemed like something that they were just doing because they were both on 90 Day Fiancé. It didn't seem like a genuine relationship in the beginning. I mean, I usually refrain from making such judgments, and certainly I would never say anything because it's like, what's the point in that, and how do I know? But I guess I will say that I'm surprised, and I'm happy for the two of them, that they seem to legit like each other and have chemistry and have potentially a long life together as a couple. I could absolutely see them working. They have some issues that they have to work on, but on the scale of things, their conflicts this season have been on the more workable side of things. So I don't know, maybe they'll get married and have kids and be together for the rest of their lives.
So I'm gonna try to see each other as much as possible until we figure out, the whole wedding and living situation.
Wedding? I need to see a ring.
Okay, maybe they'll get engaged and married, and Jesse will live happily ever after now. Hopefully Darcy can find the same.
So bossy. Wow. You want me to go on my knees and shit? Damn. I'll let you know when I get there, right? I love you.
All right, well, that is it for that episode. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.